Hey, what's going on, guys? It is TemperAlliance, and I have a funny story to share with you guys that I really want to tell because I think this is actually very funny, and I really want to share with you guys and see what you think. So, I was downtown with my friend and his girlfriend. So before I actually continue this story, I just want to let you guys know: do not go out with your friend and his girlfriend, or if it's the other way around, or with your friend and the boyfriend, or you know whatever it's with. So don't go out with a friend and his girlfriend because it gets really awkward. Because like for the whole day when I was downtown with them, all that they were doing was making lovey-dovey thingies and you know, like laughing with each other and all that kind of stuff. You know what a normal couple would do. And just me being there is just making for me the whole situation awkward. But before I went down, he was with the girlfriend and he asked me to go out with him, and I said yes. And boy, was that a mistake. But this part was actually funny. But just giving you guys a little bit of a heads up. Don't go out with your friend if his girlfriend is there, because trust me, it gets really awkward and it gets boring sometimes. You know, it gets boring because like you're just there like a clueless dog walking around with them, following around. So you know it's just not a fun experience. So what I would suggest is don't do that. Make sure that your friend is not with the girlfriend. If he's with the girlfriend, don't go. But if he's not with the girlfriend, then go, because trust me, your experience will be a lot more better. And plus, you're kind of like a third wheel, really. It's not a fun experience whatsoever. And I had my lessons learned. So anyway, this was the pretty much the first and final day I was out downtown with the with my friend and his girlfriend, and we were downtown. And he's probably gonna watch this video and he's probably gonna laugh at it. But anyway, so we're downtown and we were at a shop called Super Value, and all three of us was just sitting outside it, you know, eating. Well, they were eating. I was just looking up in the sky, really just being bored. And we just ran into our friends. We talked to our friends. They were heading off, and there was just us three. And we were just there minding our own business, and there was birds on the top. They were pretty much chilling up by the roof, and the roof was like super high. And we were just sitting there, and all of a sudden there was this kind of like a muck green grass kind of just falling down from the sky. We looked up and it was coming from the roof, and it turned out that the birds, I don't know what they were doing, we couldn't see the birds, but they were kind of like picking at the roof, and they were picking out the little green stuff, you know, kind of like this muddy grassy thing. I don't know what they are. And they pretty much threw it off the roof. And it kind of nearly hit us, and it kept on going. There was more after another after another, and we thought it was very annoying. Well, I thought it was funny because I wasn't really sitting down at the chairs. I was kind of like across when it was happening, so it was nearly hitting them, but I was fine. So I was there laughing about it, and they were there kind of laughing about it too, but they were also annoyed. So what they decided to do was pick up all the ones that the birds threw off from the roof. And there were more birds on below. There was like the birds were kind of on this what you call them, like there were kind of these bricks attached to them, attached to the building that is just edged off from the wall, so that the birds can just chill on. And it was just up above our heads. You know, I'm like it wasn't really a brick, but I don't know what they're called, so I was just gonna call it a brick. And the birds were just chilling up there. And what those two decided to do was pick up these little dark, kind of mucky, greeny stuff, and they threw it at the birds. And the birds flew off and went from one side, from one side of a brick to another, just to chill there. And they threw at them again, and he went backwards. He went from one side to another, and it kept on going and going and going. And then they thought it was just super funny that they actually shot themselves at the point when the birds flew down. So they were throwing it at the birds, and the birds just decided to fly down to the ground, because when we were with more of our friends, you know, when we first went over to Super Value, they were friends, and we decided to talk to them. They left, and it was just us three sitting there. And when they were there before us, they were having rolls. They were eating the rolls, and they left a mess on the ground. There was like a load of cheese, there was a load of breadcrumbs, there was lettuce, you know, everything on the ground. And the birds just probably felt hungry, and they went after the food. And they actually shouted. They were actually super scared because they thought the birds got pissed and went after them. But the actual true thing was the birds just got a little bit hungry and went after the food. And then they just decided to throw more shit at them. Really, they decided to throw it more at them, even though they're on the ground. And the birds just kept on flying away, and they were they were feeling scared because they thought the birds were going to go after them. But you know, I was just there laughing my head off because I just thought it was super funny the way that even though they were scared and they thought the birds were going to go after them, that they would still throw shit at them. You know, it makes no sense to me. So I was there laughing away. I wasn't even a part of it because I thought it was super stupid and dumb, and I just didn't really want to do it. And they were just there throwing shit, and the birds got all their food, flew away, went back up to their chilling spot. And there was this one bird, because at this point they stood up and they started throwing shit at them when the birds went down to get the food. And then when they flew away, you know, one of my friend was just there laughing about it, and his girlfriend was kind of a little bit further up, and pretty much one of the birds, I'm not really sure, but they pretty much weren't there, and he wanted to go down and get food because there was a bit of food, and he swooped down, and his wing kind of skinned the side of my friend's head. And this is the funny part now. So the bird flew down, and his wing kind of skinned the side of his head, and he didn't know what it was. So he looked over, and it turned out there was a bird, and he was still swooping down, trying to get the food. And he literally jumped. He was screaming. He jumped, and he was like, ah! And he just jumped and just pretty much ran away. And as the bird went down to the ground, his girlfriend turned around and started screaming, like a full-on scream. And like at this point, everyone was like turning around and being like, what the hell are they doing? You know, like, because at this point they thought it was just three nut jobs just chilling in front of a store. And so he started screaming and just went back a bit. The bird went down to the ground. The girlfriend started screaming, and at this point my stomach was actually hurting because I was too busy laughing my head off. I was actually like crying with laughter. It was honestly the most funniest thing I have ever been to in my entire life, because it was just so funny. It probably would have been more funny if you were actually there instead of just me here telling it, but I thought it was just super funny and I had to share it on the internet. And if you're watching this, friend, which I'm not going to mention your name, it was some time. But if you're with the girlfriend, I would suggest me not being there, because to be completely honest, I think couples should be left alone with no friends around, just those two. It just seems right. And you know, I even had a friend, like my sister had a boyfriend. They broke up now, but after they broke up, after a week or so, he started going out with a couple, and just looking at them, it was probably like the most awkward thing to be in. Like he was pretty much like a third wheel, you know. He wasn't really hanging around, he was just pretty much following them. And you know, it's not a nice experience. It's not really fun, you know. You're just gonna be there bored off your head. You might as well be at home instead of with them. So you know, I'm like, I already said that at the start of the video, but I might as well say it again. You know, don't go out with a friend that is with the girlfriend. Like, you would save a lot of time. You know, you'll have more fun at home than being with them, because you know, when they're a couple, they want to talk to each other, want to catch up with things, they just want to be together, and it's just better off on their own, really, instead of no one interfering with that. But anyway, guys, I thought that was really, really funny, and I just had to share it. If you thought the exact same, give this video a like. And it was honestly the best fun I ever had with a couple, but it's probably going to be the last time being out with them, because like I said from the start and pretty much now, it's just not really a fun experience. But anyway, if you want to see more videos from me in the future, also subscribe and also leave a comment down below to what you guys think. Did you like the story? Do you want to hear more stories like this in the future? Leave those comments down below. And also, that is pretty much it for me. Once again, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.